Hello, my name is Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video, I'm doing a UVA vlog doing architecture department tour, general admissions tour, and the football game versus Duke. So that's what'll be in this video, and let's get started. Our first stop at UVA was headed to Campbell Hall, which is the architecture building. This is where our information session and tour for the architecture department was located. If you're interested in any of their programs under the architecture school, I would definitely recommend doing this if you go to tour UVA. Inside, it was a really pretty building and very well lit. I really liked their studio space because I just personally find it hard to be creative in underlit space, and I also got to take a look at some of the projects that the students were currently working on. Then we decided to look at downtown Charlottesville. I think it's important to look at the surrounding area of a college because that's just really important to me. There was an Urban Outfitters, which I was very excited about. This first sweater I really liked, but I really couldn't wear it anywhere because the neck was so wide. It just really wouldn't be appropriate. These pants were epic but didn't fit. I did get the gray sweater though. Then we made it to our hotel room. I quickly wanted to go over my thoughts on the architecture tour. So several pluses are, for me personally, a plus is that they are more art-based over tech-based, but they're still a good balance. But you do the art before the tech, so that way you can still have a good design, which I think is a great philosophy. The professors actually were in the session and presented from their respective departments, and all of them were very professional and they sounded great, so the caliber of education is really high, at least from the presentation. And I like that there is a common first year curriculum and you don't have to declare which major you want to do until the end of your first year, and even after your second year you can declare concentrations. The studio space was very well lit, which I like. That's a big deal for me because I don't want to try and be creative in a space that is not creative itself. I actually got to talk with a professor who was in the classroom setting, and he was very interesting but seemed good. And overall I was thoroughly impressed with the department, and we have the general admissions tour tomorrow as well as the football game, so I'll be sure to give my thoughts after that. Okay, so for some reason the first part of this clip is out of focus, so I'm just going to fill you in on it. Obviously, it's the next day, and I was explaining how UVA is one of two public state universities that is committed to providing 100% of financial aid, which means that your expected family contributions here, their tuition is here, they cover this part. So basically, if you get in, they will find a way for you to attend without having a ton of loans left when you graduate. That's what I was explaining in the beginning.
here's the rest of my thoughts.
So I think that that is great. So you're pretty much going to get a good financial aid package. Unfortunately, since they are a public state university, 2/3 of their class has to be from the state of Virginia. So for us out-of-staters, the acceptance rate is significantly lower. It is about 18% for out-of-state. And keep in mind, out-of-state, you're also competing against international students. So it's very hard to get in if you're out-of-state. And I'm not really going to be going over like the numbers or anything that you can find online, because you can find it online. Then for the tour, I think that their campus is beautiful, and it has been voted the most beautiful college in America. I think for great reasons. Architecture is really nice, and there's just like a lot of historic stuff going on their campus. It's very pretty, and their class sizes do tend to be a little bit larger. So for people who like the smaller class size, then that might not be a good fit for you. But since I am interested in architecture, the architecture classes do tend to be smaller because they only have so much space in their architecture studios. Right, housing's pretty important. You are required to live on grounds your first year, and you cannot have a car. After that, you are not required to live on grounds, but you do have guaranteed housing on grounds all 4 years, and you can have a car starting your second year. They do have really good safety measures put in place, and that's very important for mainly the parents, but also like the students want to feel safe too. So they have the blue light system like pretty much every other college I visited, and the safe ride system like every other college that I visited. So I feel like their safety standards are there. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the surrounding area, which would be Charlottesville. From where I come from, I would consider it an urban environment, but I could see where some people wouldn't. It's definitely not like New York or Los Angeles or something, but it is a decent size town. They have a lot of like shopping areas. There are several shopping centers that the students like to go to frequently, and I mean there's good stores there. There's Madewell, Francesca's, and that main one. Then there was also a downtown strip with more of your cute boutique shops and Urban Outfitters. So that was nice, and it did seem like there was a decent amount of stuff to do. Also, Virginia's basketball arena, the John Paul Jones Arena, does get a lot of concerts and stuff. So I think that the overall scene around the area is really nice, which that's something that's very important to me, is I don't want to go somewhere where there's like nothing to do, because I've grown up with nothing to do, and vice versa. Some people might not want there to be anything to the town besides the college, whether that be for safety reasons or distraction reasons. So overall, I really like the campus, and for my rating, I have a scale. If you guys have been watching these videos, I have a scale that goes from 0 to 4. I would say Virginia is honestly probably going to wind up being a 4, but the reason I'm hesitant to say it is because I have not toured like all the colleges that I want to visit yet. I've only toured 5, but it is definitely my favorite out of those 5. I mean, there's not really anything negative about it except for the fact that they do not really offer that much in merit-based scholarships, but since they are one of the nation's top universities, they get the best of the best students. So I didn't really expect there to be merit-based scholarships. If you guys have any more questions about UVA, I will do my best to answer them in the comments. But be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below by clicking the subscribe button, and click the bell while you're at it so you can join the hashtag M&M squad. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!